had small school offers or football offers. They were still thinking about possibly walking on at UTEP and NMSU. And Evan changed his mind last week, and he came and told me, and it gets me excited because we get to finally honor somebody. You know, not saying that walking on is bad, but you don't get to have the whole party, right? That's one of the downfalls. But you know, when Evan changed his mind, I told him I can't be happy for a kid like Evan. You know, when I look back, and I got here May of 2015. And Evan, believe it or not, at that time wasn't wearing the tight shorts yet or the spandex or what we all are used to with Evan. But you know, Evan was this skinny kid that I remembered when I was here and he was a freshman. Now, he was a little taller, obviously, at this point in 2015. But I remember him as that little quarterback that broke his ankle and was in a cast for like cast for like half the year. And then when I get back, he's stretched out. He's tall, still skinny, maybe $170, and goes to the spring. And our first spring, you know, does well at quarterback. And as soon as spring ball ended, and we really started to get down and talk about things with not only him but every player and our plans moving forward, he says, "Coach, I want to move to defense." And I told him, I said, "Evan, that's a huge transition. You've played quarterback your whole life. It's a whole different mindset. It's, you know, you got to transform your body. You got to transform how you go about things." He says, "I know, Coach, I'm ready for it." So his junior year comes. That was his spring of his sophomore year. His junior year comes, and man, he gave us great effort on the scout team defense. You know, doesn't get a ton of reps on defense. He's still at this point an in-between player. Should he be a safety? Should he be a outside linebacker? And then, you know, we start slowly though to notice that, hey, this guy can be a player. He starts really beating us off the edge as scout team, getting after our tackles. I think it was Noah at that time, but getting after our tackles. Just getting after us, you know. And then we get into the summer, and I swear to you, I've never seen a player that completely, bought in to his own dream. And what I mean by that is, you got to understand, when I came in, I just described what Evan looked like, right? With $170. By the time Evan's senior year rolled around, he's 215 pounds. He's one of the most physical guys we have. He was giving us fits offensively all spring, batting balls down, and just being the Evan we all now know. You know, and that really, to me, shows what kind of kid he is, how bad he wanted. You know, then we get into the season, has great first two games. And this is what separates Evan than a lot of other kids I've ever dealt with, you know, to me, in my opinion. You know, Seth tears his ACL. And Seth tears his ACL, and we have two quarterbacks now. We got Darius, obviously, you know, young kid coming up, you know, still wide-eyed though, right? Still kind of green. And then we got Evan. We got this big bruiser, just a big dude that can throw the ball a little bit, but hasn't started a game in 2 years. And going forward with them, you know, I told Evan, hey, you're not going to be playing outside linebacker anymore, man. You know, you understand that. You're going to be not only competing for the quarterback job, but obviously once you become quarterback, then you're going to have to completely buy into quarterback, and I can't risk getting you hurt on defense. And, you know, all the what-ifs of the year, right? What if Seth doesn't get hurt and Evan stays at outside linebacker? What if this, that, the ball bounces our way here or there? One of the biggest what-ifs to me, and one of the most selfless things that he did, was if he stays at outside linebacker, the reality is we might be talking about another offer, a lot more offers at outside linebacker. Because he was, in my opinion, we had him and Noah, two of the best outside linebackers in the city. And he completely gave that dream up, right? Remember, he transformed his dream into being a star defensive player back to leading this team and whatever it took to get us going, right? And that means being quarterback. The first game he starts at quarterback after not having taken a snap since his sophomore year in 2015, right, or 14 maybe? He rushes in a 1 versus 2 matchup, in a matchup where nobody gives us a chance, right? Hey, Seth is hurt. You got this guy who hasn't started at quarterback. Nobody knows him. Evan runs for 250 yards and throws for 200. And we don't punt not once in the game. We put up 45 points. And while we lost, to me, that was just the start of Evan's legacy, right? Or just another chapter in it. You know, I look at Evan, and he was a guy that, man, he would come into my office at lunch. We'd have lunch. We'd go over film, the game plan, whatever it was, and he committed to getting this team ready. You know, when a lot of people didn't think we had a shot at the to even compete. And yet there we were. Now obviously we wish, and we the what if, right? We would have loved to have our season, his senior year, end a different way. But to me, Evan, I mean, how selfless do you get, right? To give up your dream. You had worked for 2 years, really, to say, you know what, I'm giving up quarterback. I'm going to commit myself to being this mean outside linebacker, transform my body mentally, and to give that up like this. Whatever's best for the team, coach, let's just go. And to me, I will always remember Evan for that. I will always love him for that because he's somebody who gave that up for the team, that team-first mentality. Okay, and I can't tell you how happy I am for Evan. I'm going to be the biggest Benedictine fan in the country. I'll tell you that right now, and I'm going to be checking up on him Saturdays, and I'm going to be knowing that Evan's going to be a stud. He's going to be a star wherever he goes, and Benedictine is lucky to have him. The other part of this, before Evan talks to you, is I love signings because since I've taken over, right, I have a son. He's going to be 4 now, and obviously I hope he plays football. But I always look at the parents because to me this day it's great for the kids, but as a parent I can't even imagine the feeling. I can't imagine the feeling of sitting at a table at your son's signing, knowing that their dream came true, right? Because if you think about it, well, who's taking you to practice when you're 6 and 7 years old? Who's taking you here when you're 7 and 8? Who's in the stands biting their nails when you're getting, in his case, that quarterback when we're running 40 times against El Dorado and you get punished. Had a great game, but it's the parents, right? It's the parents. And I get goosebumps just talking about it because I hope I'm fortunate one day that my son can be up here signing and I can have somebody else talk and just enjoy my son for a second and have him sign to go play and continue his dream of playing football. And all the sacrifice, the hard work, I mean, I'm going to miss you just as much as I miss it. And the support that they've showed us, me, this program, their son, though, that's what I love about signings. It's a dream come true, not for a kid, but it's a dream come true for a family. And I know they're going to find a way to get up there and watch his games, and I know that, they're still going to be biting their nails, whether they're watching on the computer or at home or they're up there with him. But, Evan has a good head on his shoulders, and I know he's going to do great. I know he's going to be a star. And I know just because of his attitude and what I've seen the last 2 years, that Benedictine might have its next NFL star in Evan. And maybe one day, maybe he invites me to the draft in a couple years. But I just know whatever he does, he's going to be successful because of the kid he is. Maybe he'll wear bigger clothes now. But if not, I'm sure he'll fit in just right and tall. So, that being said, Evan, I love you. To his parents, I love you guys just as much too. I appreciate all the support and everything. And Evan, you always have us here as family. We're a phone call away, and we'll always be rooting for you. All right? So now Evan will say a couple words.